Before I start this video, I want to give a quick trigger warning as I'll be showing a photo of some open cuts. How would you say you measure the success of your BFRB? Maybe you're someone who keeps track of the number of days you've gone without picking or the number of eyelashes you have. Maybe it's something like the minutes you've spent in the bathroom or money you've spent on bandages or even just like the number of comments you receive. So for me, with my BFRB, I get these cuts on my fingers, and there was a period of time where I would give myself a score each day of the number of how many of my fingers have cuts like this. So I did it for a while, about 5 months. You know, there were days where I had up to 7 of my fingers with cuts, and you know, there were days where it was 0. But I'm gonna be honest. Putting all this effort into keeping track of this data, it never really gave me any useful, tangible information. If anything, it kind of bummed me out. It made me more anxious, and it kind of made me feel like picking more. So I'm gonna put a pause on this and ask a different question. Let's say you had a restaurant. How would you measure restaurant success? Maybe you say something like revenue or happy customers. Well, I see those as these lagging indicators. And in this video, I want to introduce to you the concept of leading indicators. So if I were to ask you, how would you increase revenue or customer satisfaction? It might be a little not as immediately clear. There are many different factors, but you can start spitballing a few. So what if we could reduce the wait time per order, or the number of errors that staff make? I think so in general, these leading indicators, you can think of them as inputs, whereas the laggings are outputs, where we have more direct control over them, and we can be proactive. So I think it's very common for people to grasp and chase these lagging indicators because they're very easy to measure. But unfortunately, we don't, again, have that much control over influencing them. And so this is a concept that I want to bring to BFRBs when we think about, again, our lagging versus leading indicator. I see it as these inputs upstream to the urge versus keeping track of the downstream effects. So we've already had a few ideas on lagging indicators, the number of eyelashes, the number of minutes spent. For leading indicators, I have a few ideas. Say, you linked your BFRB with your tiredness and exhaustion and just overworked. Maybe even a little amount of perfectionism. Well, I think you can start keeping track of how many hours have I spent overtime, or how many meals have I missed. So these are a few of my ideas. In my next video, I'll explore it a little more. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear what you think. What do you think are some of your leading indicators for your BFRB?